Check 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome to our candidate interviews. Today we're talking with this guy over here.
Hi, I'm Jeff, and I'm running for this thing and whatever.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County, and online and on your mind at KMASnewsradio.com. A Tuesday and a good morning to you here on the second day of June, 10 minutes past 6 in the morning. And for all intents and purposes, you had to think, well, you know what? Felix is starting out Felix-like.
2 outs, nobody on, no score, though, 1-1. Flores swings, hits a ground ball right there to the shortstop, Brad Miller. A backhand stab, throws low, but taken there by Morrison. As he's been at the knees, Flores is out, and it's been 9 up, 9 down so far tonight for the King in game 1 against the Yankees.
Yeah, Mike Sims over on the TV site said, "Oh, we're starting something." And little did he know exactly how prophetic he was going to become, as this was probably the worst ever start for Felix Hernandez.
The 2-0 pitch, swinging a fly ball deep into the gap in right center field. Cruz going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. Mark Teixeira with a grand slam here in the top of the 5th inning, and the Yankees pull out to a 7-0 lead in the ball game. For Teixeira, his 15th home run of the year.
And for all intents and purposes, the Mariners were toast.
That sounded a little different
than the New York Yankees version. Yeah. Felix imploded. I mean, he completely went off the rails. And then if we don't have our starting pitching,
we ain't got no pitching.
Yeah, and then we don't have no hitting. And but we do have some great fielding.
The pitch, swing and a pop-up in behind third, foul ground, over to his right near the seats. Kyle Seager reaches out, and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, the Gold Glover reaching into the front row on the other side of the Yankee third base dugout, reaching into the crowd to make the grab, and then will retire the side.
He also saved a little boy.
What?
There was a 2-year-old sitting in the very front row right there. The ball was coming right down at him. And the kid's dad was like, doofus, not even watching. If Seager doesn't catch that ball, I think the ball hits the kid on the head.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find that.
It was incredible. Anyway, so he may have saved the kid's life. All right. All life-saving aside, the Mariners lose 7-2. I don't know. Is it too soon to panic yet? If things don't change soon. Now, so that was game number 51. Lloyd McLennan said, well, I'm not going to make any judgments about this team until we get 50 games under our belt.
Well, hey.
So that was the 51st game.
I meant 55 games.
Well,
let's after this homestand. How about before the All-Star break?
Yeah. So putting it out there a little farther, a little deeper into our future, for the Mariners to catch fire. And ladies and gentlemen, perhaps we will. Game 2 with the Yankees tonight. Pregame at 6. First pitch will be a little after 7. Let's see. Who's pitching for Seattle today? I don't know, but we'll get to it here next time around. Let's quickly jump to the rainy forecast.
Oh, yeah. Go from good to great here.
Yeah. Good times.
All right. South Sound forecast, 53 out there right now. Good morning.
Bundled up like it was November this morning when I came in.
So was I. Likely to see so yesterday, kind of a junko day.
Yeah. Today?
The same.
Yeah.
Tomorrow gets better,
okay.
65,
right.
And then Thursday it's 70, and we are still anticipating and now even higher temperatures over the weekend, where by Sunday we could be near 90. 90.
No way.
990.
That is kind of goofy.
I'm gonna film the camera.
Taking the camera.
No, we're gonna put it right here, and it's just gonna be the candidate.
Okay,
Perfect. We have our first candidate meet and greet today, our first candidate interview
Yeah.
for us and for you. We'll have it on the air, a video interview with one of the candidates that's running for an upcoming position, and we'll continue to fill those up and have a candidates forum before too long, as it's almost going to be election season again.
Oh, man. So you want to be getting those video screens for your radios so you can follow along. Hempa-palooza. Solstice weekend.
Palooza. Yeah, Father's Day weekend,
Yes.
Solstice weekend, big
June
weekend.
19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. 4 days.
That's a long weekend.
Just outside of Brennan, up the valley, the Hamahama
Now
Valley.
everybody will be able to say, no, I lost a weekend in Brennan once.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't say that now?
Well, I don't.
Okay.
I've never spent a full weekend in Brennan.
All right. So there you go, Hempapalooza. So we will have Nicole in studio with us next hour to shed a little light on her own personal reasons for her involvement with
sure.
Medicinal hemp.
Okay.
And we have Fred Wright, General Manager of Ridge Motorsports Park, scheduled for 7:30 this morning. And Fred's going to update us on all the happenings at the Ridge.
Yeah, we'll also talk about 4-H science projects, and they're going to talk about natural disasters. We had 2 earthquakes off the Oregon coast yesterday, so these earthquakes are coming
Frequently
pretty
and closer.
frequently.
And closer.
Now, I swear, last Friday, Adam was on the internet, Adam Click from KMAS here, and he told me that there was a gigantic earthquake in Japan.
Yes.
8.6.
Yes.
What's happened of that? Anything? I haven't heard.
Hasn't been on the front page.
Sure hasn't. But
So
again, that's in our ring of fire.
I think it was an underwater earthquake near Japan and did not cause a tsunami. That's why we didn't hear much about it. But it was fairly significant in size, but pretty deep. I remember that happening last week as well.
And also, Erica Bates will be in for Environmentally Sound today, talking about the Oakland Bay Day celebration, which is a fun event. And if the weather holds out, it's a great day out there. Oakland Bay Day.
Yeah.
6:17 at KMAS. How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
Good.
I mean, I'm not completely well, but I'm okay.
It's kind of a junko.
Can't check the 100%.
Not at 100 yet.
No.
Better than the weekend.
Slowly recovering.
Dale slipped a disc or something in his hip. Who knows?
I don't know what I did.
Him over there limping around. I'm limping over here.
Yeah.
Cuts on my foot.
I know.
Oh, gosh.
We're a pair to draw to. You guys might not want to use us if you've got a pickup game going on.
Yeah,
this weekend.
pickleball today over at the center. Don't call for us to drop in.
You'll rue the day.
You really will.
All right, so 7-2, the Mariners lose big to the Yankees, and the Mariners have now won 1 game out of 5 in this homestand. And again,
that's not a lot.
there are bangers out there, bloggers that are really raking these guys over the coals. I have chosen not to go that direction yet, but very interesting reading. I may share a few of these theories with people because, believe it or not, Lloyd McLennan is on the hot seat.
Is he already?
Yeah, already. And John Zignarik, Jack,
that.
has been on the hot seat for about 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
This was the year. This was the season. This is the one. Now it's not happening, and I don't know what to make of it, and I don't know what to do to turn it around.
Well, you know what's going to turn it around?
What's that?
Tonight. Tonight's going to be.
Yes.
It's Kyle Siegel bobblehead night.
Yes.
What did I say?
I don't know. Kyle Siegel's bobber night.
That's exactly what it is. For the first 10,000, you get that.
For you fishermen.
Everybody else gets the Kyle Seager bobblehead. That's what they're giving away today.
Not Kyle Siegel's bobbers?
Marbles is what they're giving away. So today's the day. They're going to start fresh. Win tonight. I guarantee it.
All right. You heard it, folks.
5-3.
It's the old
5-3 Mariners win over Yankees.
Circus Boys guarantee right there.
Do.
Take that to the bank. Let's see what they say.
Don't do that.
6:20
Okay.
on 6-2. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Dave. Dave Ramsey on noon to 3 here at KMAS News Radio, and a good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS. Well, we were just talking about the earthquakes, and scientists say a cluster of these earthquakes ranging in magnitude up to 5.9 struck off the coast of the Pacific Northwest, but haven't been strong enough to generate tsunamis. The 6th and 7th quakes in the series struck last night.
Yeah.
Weakest so far as they start to drop down 3.9 and 4.2. You know, they are weak, but still.
There's a lot of them.
That's a lot of 7 earthquakes in 2 days or something.
So, you know, and they are insignificant in their size. However, you know, are they all preludes to a bigger quake? Yeah. Are they aftershocks?
I mean, is this
from
the Japanese earthquake, and then these are settling over here? Or?
I know, and it is
it's a little
something to be. It seems to. I can't get it out of my mind. Is what I'm saying.
You can't.
No, I just feel as though there's. I mean, when you look at this global setting of quakes that have been going on a pretty regular weekly basis. And it's all over the world. It's just a lot of magma movement.
Yeah.
Just it's a little disconcerting to me on a personal note, but that's just me. All right. So, some good results and reviews of the weekend that was. I think some of us are finally shaking off the last vestiges of Forest Festival and getting ready to move forward on into the summertime. And goodness gracious, so many things going on, including the Mason County Rodeo will be the third weekend of July, and it will be at the Ridge Motorsports Park.
Awesome.
So we'll be talking with Fred in just a little while about that event, as well as all the motorsports that are going on at the raceway this summer. And a surprise, too, and I'll ask him off air if we can publicize the plans that they have for next year, which will include the public in a big way.
Oh,
a real chance for family fun.
Awesome.
On a high level, inexpensive, fun events on a regular basis. But that's all I'm going to say for now until I get the green light.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
So,
no, I don't.
Well, it's okay. You can just
I think you put
nod
everybody,
knowingly that
put the public into a pit, and then a school bus jumps
the pit. Yeah, that's it.
Was
you
that
blew
it?
it now? Yeah. Now,
darn it.
Fred, don't even come in.
It's like a Super Dave Osborne kind of deal.
From our Twitter feed this morning, the Yakima Ferries galley is closed this morning.
Oh no!
Just saying.
Wait, I'm sorry.
No Danishes or coffee. Well, they might have the coffee going.
In Yakima or the Yakima Ferry?
The Yakima Ferry. It's a Seattle Bremerton run.
Right.
Yeah. So the HSS or whatever it is.
I thought you were talking about some diner.
In Yakima?
The ferry diner
the ferry
in Yakima is out of eggs.
Well, that's good that we're communicating clearly then this morning. And just got word from the DOT, the investigation is cleared from the deal up in Milton. There was a tangle up on the old 99 up there. And so if any folks are heading in and around Fife in that area, Fife Milton area, that's all clear. You're good.
What? I was just thinking about the first time I ever went out to Grapeview from Olympia. You take Highway 3.
Yes, you do.
Well what?
At least you should.
You should. Yeah. Well, the first time I ever went out, we come out Highway 3, and this was before I worked here, so I had no idea what was going on. And I just drove and drove and drove, and the next thing I know, I swear I end up on Dalby Road out in Unionville. Yeah, like get to the water and then take a right. Well, my brother and I are almost out of gas trying to get to Grapeview. Here's my point. The signage for these historic roads are terrible. You take Route 66, you totally get lost. People like to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you talk about Highway 99.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, can I take that 99 all the way through down into Tumwater and Old Highway 99? But there's no signage.
No.
And people want to get commerce going and people to stop off and take not the freeways all the time. They should sign these things better.
But then there's, they've got these rules about having too many signs. You can't do that. You clutter up the landscape.
Or like the Thurston Bountiful Byway is a beautiful drive.
Is there a Bountiful Byway?
Exactly. I've seen maybe 4 signs, and it goes from Nisqually. So we were out by the Red Wind.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Jerry and I were out on it, and there was some beautiful gardens out there and flowers. And
so you could take the Thurston Bountiful Byway all the way
but
from
I didn't know it was called anything.
The Red Wind all the way to the Mima Mounds. But there's no good signage, and you want people to enjoy the area.
Maybe they should do a radio campaign.
Yeah.
Or more signs. You're right. You
can
be out there and not know where you are.
You don't know where you're going.
Near. Yeah.
That's like getting lost on Highway 3.
It's fairly easy to do.
Very easy.
Yeah,
to do.
no, it's true. My daughter and her husband. For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County, and online at KMASnewsradio.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. It is 6:34, and a good Tuesday morning to you. Is a lot better Tuesday than it was a Monday as far as the Mariners and Felix were concerned.
The 2-0 pitch, swinging a fly ball deep into the gap in right center field. Cruz going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. Mark Teixeira with a grand slam here in the top of the 5th inning. And the Yankees pull out to a 7-0 lead in the ball game for Teixeira, his 15th home run of the year.
Yeah, and he's had 6 home runs off of Felix. He pretty much owns Felix, and you had a feeling it was going to happen when the bases were loaded and Teixeira was up. It was just one of those things like, ruh-roh. And meltdown is the term that I'm seeing most often in all accounts of Felix last night, a meltdown for whatever reason. And, you know, everybody's trying as hard as they can, but it's so frustrating as a pitcher to pitch pretty decently, maybe give up a run, maybe give up even 2 runs. But you're pitching 7 or 8 innings. You would like to think that your offense is going to take care of the difference, and they're going to be able to score 3 or 4 or 5 runs in a ball game. And that's not happening. And now there seems to be a little bit of frozen momentum or a stall in forward progress for the Mariners right now. And they're just, when it goes bad, it goes bad. And they've lost 5 of their last 6 games. And it's just, then the theorists come out and the bloggers and everybody has got an idea about what would fix the Mariners, and nobody's got the answer. If they did, then they'd be playing better baseball.
Sure, they'd be the manager.
Yeah. So a tough loss for Seattle, first of 3 against the Yankees. So let's see if they can salvage. Just when we're singing, "Oh, the sky is falling," sometimes they pull themselves out of it. And here you go tonight, 6:00 pregame. First pitch, 10 minutes past 7.
Okay.
A significant moment in time for young Mike Montgomery.
Oh, wow.
Mike Montgomery is going to be recalled from Tacoma today to make his major league debut tonight at Safeco against the New York Yankees. Good luck, Mike.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, actually. And he'll go up against CC Sabathia. No problem.
No problem.
It is Kyle Seager bat night. No, bobblehead night tonight. Or Kyle Siegel's bobber night.
Yeah. I think that's for the 2001
fishing opening, I think. This
The
Montesanos
bobbers.
Lake Sylvia's Kids Derby is Saturday, so. But the bobblehead night for Kyle Seager is tonight. And Kyle made a wonderful defensive play we'll talk about a little later on this morning. Weather, though, Jeff, I think the roof will be closed maybe tonight.
Yeah. It would make sense. Might as well just leave it closed. I'm sure it was closed yesterday. 53 now. We'll see mostly cloudy skies and some showers off and on. 60 will be your high today, 65 tomorrow. Then we really start to warm up like we've been talking about into the 80s, and some forecasts calling for 90 by Sunday. Holy
Tiger
moly.
saying, man, now I know why I live in Florida.
Tiger is in town. All right, good morning to you. I-5 taking a sharp left. We were just talking about taking the old roads, driving around, and how difficult it is, how everybody wants folks to slow down and drive through these old burgs and, revitalize them, refresh them. But the signage keeps, like we said, I would love to get on 99 and drive wherever.
As far as you can.
Or, like you said, the PCH, the 101, theoretically.
Yeah.
You can go from Forks
all
the way to Mexico.
Yeah, theoretically.
Well, we don't see those things.
No.
So,
Entering the Clint Eastwood Estates, so you have to take a wide swath around. In the news from around the region, and we've talked a little bit about it again this morning, cluster of earthquakes, 5.9 and higher off the coast down in Oregon, out from Coos Bay. And these are the 6th and 7th quakes in the series last night. My goodness gracious. What's going on? There's movement happening there. So Seebeck, Dateline Seebeck, Kitsap County. Humane Society there seeking information about a pit bull mix found tied to a tree and shot to death.
Oh, my gosh.
Kitsap Sun reporting that the hikers found the male dog yesterday afternoon on a trail near Seebeck, and he'd been shot between the eyes, was wearing a blue harness, pink leash. He had no tags, no microchip, no story there, but not a good thing.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
University of Washington says 2 animal rights activists climbed to the top of an excavator at a construction site to protest the building of an animal research facility have come down. University said last night that the 2 being booked into jail, they climbed up onto the excavator yesterday, unfurling a banner that said, "You will not build this lab." UW said work will proceed.
And they're not up there anymore.
And they're not up there anymore.
Okay, so there are things over in eastern Washington. Of course, a lot of storms and things happening over there. Big, strong storm, heavy rain and thunder and lightning over in the Spokane area. Hail even in some parts of eastern Washington. And areas north of Spokane, around the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area. Utilities reporting hundreds of customers lost power last night, and one viewer reported lightning striking a tree in his yard, and that started a small fire. So, I mean, it's dry over there, but yet they had the rain and then the thunder and the lightning. It's a mess. Very challenging weather, and that kind of weather that gets your attention over there, thunderstorms.
6:41 here at KMAS and KMASnewsradio.com. We're going to have a fun game. I'm going to put Dale on the spot here. We're going to take a break in a little bit, and then we'll come back. And it is National Bubba Day. And so on ABC News, they've got 11 reasons to celebrate National Bubba Day, and they all are people that we refer to as Bubba.
Okay.
So we'll see how many you can come up with.
All right.
It's kind of a fun little thing. So that's on the way here as it's National Bubba Day.
Why wouldn't it be?
And why wouldn't it be? Let's see. Other news. Caitlyn Jenner. Is that what her name is? Caitlyn Jenner?
Yes.
The photos came out from Annie Leibovitz on Vanity Fair. My goodness.
So I asked Jeff if this is going to impact the name Caitlyn for newborns moving forward this year. If you don't know by now, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Jenner is now Caitlyn Jenner. And cover of Vanity Fair or all over the internet. You can catch the picture of the new brew.
As soon as I saw her picture, and I'm looking at her and I'm going, you look familiar, but you don't look like Bruce. Renee Russo is the person I thought of.
Did you?
Yeah, Renee Russo from Thomas Crown Affair. I don't know if she's been anything else, but
yeah, she's been in a lot of
I know.
movies.
I can't think of anything
I can't
else.
think of any. I can't support you on that, but well, there is some similarity, I guess. I don't know. So they come to a happy opinion, but that's what I want to do. There's some 10 hours of cosmetic surgery done.
Sure.
To soften the features and to, whatever they do. So a lot of work and effort. Pretty poignant interview as well that accompanies the pictures. And
I guess ESPN is going to give her the Arthur Ashe Courage Award.
Yes, that came out yesterday. There's probably bewilderment for some segment of the population about this.
I mean, Bruce Jenner was the Olympic golden boy.
Yeah, I've shared with you, he was on the cover of Wheaties. He was the decathlon gold medalist and, a superhero and married a couple of times, 4 children, all those things. And now is kind of like completely the opposite of all that.
Huh, interesting. The article written by Buzz Bingesser, who is a big-time sports reporter.
So like an old guy with a cigar. Hey,
kind of like that guy. He is a real ornery, Buzz Bingesser. He got into the yelling with the money ball kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so he does a lot of the more behind the scenes sports lifestyle stories, I guess.
Yeah.
Is Buzz. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
you know, as hard as it was for Bruce to adjust to becoming who he ultimately wanted to be, my whole generation is coming around to trying to find acceptance for it. I think that's not it's not really so much acceptance. Understanding. Yeah. And I had a discussion with Jerry about this is, you know, I don't have any animosity. I don't care. I mean, I'm glad he's happy. She's happy. It's hard to get our heads around it.
Sure.
It's hard to understand what motivates, but you know, it's just a generational thing.
Sure.
There was so much. And when I was younger and when I was in my teens and 20s, we were more open to accepting whatever it is. Well, that's the way it is, man. That's just the way things are.
Uh-huh.
And that's, you know, every young generation does that. Every next generation does that. And so it's like the technology today. Well, it's just the way it is. My whole life it's been that way.
Sure.
You know? So those are the things that, you know, everybody has to go with. But I think overall certainly was peace of mind for him.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm happy for Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner.
Bruce always had to tell a lie, always living a lie. Caitlyn doesn't have any secrets. And as soon as the Vanity Fair cover came out yesterday, she's free.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty wild.
Imagine
pretty crazy.
imagine the weight off your shoulders. I mean, we've all known this for a while in the interview and whatever, but the pictures are out now. Her name is out now. And that was the big thing is she didn't have her name. She didn't tell us her
Kept
name.
It a secret.
But now the weight
is off.
I bet she probably slept good last night.
I did.
Well, good. Thanks for adding.
It's all about me. 6:45.
Apparently. Well, for whatever reason, it's National Bubba Day. National Bubba Day.
And you said there's 10 significant Bubbas
Well,
in count in
there are 12 on this list.
pop
However,
culture. 12?
1, 2, 3, 4 of them are footballers, and there is no Bubba Gump shrimp. So this list is highly suspect.
So Bubba from
Bubba
Forrest
Gump, yeah, right? No, he's not on there.
Well, that was my first guess. I said, well, there's a guy. There was the
There
Bubba
was
on
Bubba.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, so
So I'm
Nothing.
over already. Bill Clinton was called Bubba.
Bill Clinton is number 1 on this list.
Okay, so I knew that one. Okay. Bubba Smith.
Hightower from Police Academy. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Charles Bubba Smith is on here.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Bubba Watson, the lefty.
Oh, okay. All right.
Remember him?
Yeah, golfer.
Bubba the Love Sponge. You ever heard of him? The radio guy?
I think I have.
So he's like, that's his real name.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put. I mean, he's not on top of mind
No.
consciousness, but yeah.
Apparently back
There
in-
is a Bubba the Love Sponge.
I don't get it. He actually changed his name legally to that.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. He got in trouble in 2001 for slaughtering a hog live on the radio.
Nice. Way to go, Bubba.
Way to help us all out, too.
Yeah.
Another footballer, Al Bubba Baker. He was on the Shark Tank. He ended up on the Shark Tank. He wanted people to buy Bubba's boneless ribs. I remember that episode, actually. 58-year-old Bubba Crosby, a New York Yankee,
Never
former
heard of
Major League outfielder. Bubba Sparks, a rapper. I've heard of him.
it. You have?
Tom, yeah.
I haven't.
Tommy Facienda, a rockabilly singer-dancer.
Calls
Bubba Diddy and High School USA were some of his songs. That's a tough one. These Bubba things, they need to rethink these Bubba days.
Yeah, no kidding.
James Bubba Stewart Jr. is a motocross rider. Yeah. And then another footballer.
So
And I
Jack,
can't.
our engineer, emailed me yesterday. He'd met a guy named Bill Booth, right? Who is a part of this idea bank that we used to belong to.
Sure.
And Bill Booth thinks he might know me from meetings that I went to. And so I wrote back to Jack and says, "Al, the name seems familiar. I'm not sure. Is he Toll's brother? I don't know about it." And so right over the top of Jack's head, he didn't even get the joke. Toll Booth.
Toll's brother. That's funny.
Yeah. So, but and then there's my dog, Riley. I call Bubba.
Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Bubba.
Hi, Bubs. What are you doing, buddy?
That's fun. So it is Bubba Day.
Yeah, it is Bubba Day. So if you've got a Bubba in your life,
They were really stretching to get some of these names on here.
yeah,
They could have probably just stopped with Clinton and Hightower
yeah.
and maybe Bubba Sparks.
Well, I don't understand why Bubba in Forrest Gump isn't part of the
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
roster. Holy cow. Hey, that's a famous Bubba right there.
Probably the
And then
most.
there's
famous.
Debba Bubba.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
How many chews?
Yeah.
Until the flavor goes out in that double bubble. Remember that?
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
say
yeah,
probably
7?
20.
Oh, 20. You're
20
very
chews.
generous.
Takes about 5 or 6 to get all the sugar mashed
It
in.
is just sugar-rific.
Get it to and then you got about 13 good chews, and then it starts to fade. Then it just turns into a little kind of like soft concrete. in
Like
your
Juicy
mouth.
Fruit does that
Ugh.
too.
Hate that.
Good morning to you. 6:53 here at KMAS. Head over to KMASnewsradio.com. Check out a lot of our great stories we have on our Facebook page, facebook.com/1030KMAS. We're about to have a post. I have it scheduled to show up here in a couple minutes with a link to be able to join us in studio. Does that sound right? To join us into
Join
the
us
come
in the studio.
enter the studio,
Enter.
and you don't even have to leave your house.
Comforts of your home. Stay in your jammies.
You can watch the show live. There's a link, and we got
It
the
is a
cameras
two-way
rolling.
link, by the way. We can't see you, but you can.
That's right. We can see you. Everybody that
You can see
watches.
us. We can see you.
So you'll be able to see the interviews here and watch along the Daybreak program here in a couple minutes and follow along on the YouTube. That'd be a lot of fun. And we've got some great conversations happening here on Daybreak in just a couple of minutes as well. We
Indeed.
talk Hempapalooza here.
Yeah, Nathan and Nicole are out in the front office getting ready to talk to us about big doings happening summer solstice weekend.
Coming up before
Just
you know it.
A couple of weeks from now, Hempapalooza 1. They did a little one last year, but it was nothing compared to what's being planned for the 4 days.
It was a soft open
this year. Fred Wright, general manager of Ridge Motorsports Park, he will be in studio with us a little later on this hour as well. And from the WSU Extension Office, a discussion of natural disasters, part of a 4-H science project. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's some strange doings at the Port of Olympia these days.
Really?
It is a 5-member board, and they have got one of their members, Sue Gunn, who was elected to the position, had to step aside for medical reasons, I believe. And she was out for such a long time that they started going, listen, we need to get someone in here. If she's not going to be able to do her job, then we need to figure this out.
Right.
And there was kind of some controversy back and forth on, do we push her out? Do we let her continue on sabbatical or whatever it was? Well, they've decided that, and I don't know how amicable, whatever, but she is no longer part of that. So they need to fill up the positions. So they are set to interview 8 applicants who have applied to temporarily fill the District 3 commission seat until the November general election has been certified. So they've got some folks that they're going to be talking with. And some of them have familiar names around the area, including Dick Poost, who did some reports for us here in the last couple of years.
Bubba Poost.
Dick Bubba Poost. Fred Finn, I believe, is probably the same Fred Finn that everybody thought of when I said that. And
sure, former 35th District legislator.
Yeah. And then Jerry Farmer, who, to you Thurston County TV kids about my age, 35 or so, you probably were watching Jerry Farmer grow up on Funny Guy on the Prowl. I know I did every week on TCTV. I watched Funny Guy on the Prowl.
How many viewers do we have?
It says 1.
Yeah. So you, maybe then, if they would have been tracking.
No, because they would do call-ins, and he used to work at the Guardsman at the Capitol South Sound Mall, and we would go by there, stop off at the Woolworths, and go and walk between the Woolworths and the comic book shop, slow walk between the Guardsmen to see if we could see him. There he is. That's Jared. That's Funny Guy.
That's the funny guy.
So that's what's going on. The commission.
Now the funny guy is going to try to be a port commissioner.
Yeah.
He'll really be funny then.
The commission is expected to appoint a new commissioner on the 10th to replace Sue Gunn, who resigned for health reasons last month. New commissioner's first meeting likely to be on the 18th, and then a swearing in ceremony at the Thurston County Courthouse. So that's kind of what's happening at the Port of Olympia.
All right. Yeah, that is interesting. And then
folks.
they'll be filling in on a temporary basis until the election cycle resets itself. And there are 2 Port of Olympia positions that are up for election this year.
Yeah.
We'll tell you more about them. The candidates, you'll hear about them. You'll read about them online on our voters online guide. That'll be out before you know it. KMASnewsradio.com. All right, we take a break for the Old Farmer's Almanac, ABC News. Mary Lynn Foster will be back with Hempapalooza and more. For News Radio, 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County, and online at KMASnewsradio.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. Good morning, 7:07 here on a Tuesday, second day of June. Mark Teixeira hit his 9th career grand slam off Seattle ace Felix Hernandez. Now, it wasn't his 9th grand slam off of Felix per se, but it was.
Man, wouldn't that be something?
But it was his 6th home run off of Felix, just in general terms. And then Michael Pineda pitched real strong against his former team, giving up just 2 runs in the 7th inning. Mariners lose 7-2 last night. The anticipated matchup between 2 of the top right-handers in the American League met expectations for 3 innings, both of them pitching perfectly, pretty much. Well, Felix was perfect. He was 9 up, 9 down, 21 pitches, then some 64 pitches in the 4th and 5th innings. So there was all that going on. He falls to 8-2 in stunning fashion, and Teixeira didn't miss his chance with Felix struggling a little bit on the mound. There was a little rain shower, and he had mud stuck in his cleats, and he called timeout, and he was distracted. 7-2 the final. Kind of ugly. A lot of folks speculating on the mindset of the Mariners right now. Anyway, game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight. We'll have coverage for you beginning at 6. First pitch a little after 7. And Mike Montgomery going to be recalled from AAA Tacoma today. Wow. And make his major league debut against CC Sabathia and the New York Yankees.
Well, I mean, if you're going to start,
Might as well
start with one of the toughest.
You're going to jump in the pool, jump in the deep end.
Yeah.
Huh? Right?
Wow.
There it is.
That's what I was thinking. 53 out there right now, and it is a little cloudy, maybe some rain off and on throughout the day today. Yesterday's high was 57, and we're not going to see it much higher than that today. 64 tomorrow, 70 on Thursday, and then, 80 on Friday, 85 on Saturday, and 90 on Sunday. HOT. That's what that is.
Believe you. Is that true?
It is.
Wow.
All right. Good morning to you. It is Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio. And just coincidentally, Dale, that today is National Bubba Day.
And we just happen to have a Bubba in studio with us.
We didn't know this, though.
No.
This is value added.
And I've known him for all these months. Nicole and Nathan are in studio with us this morning. Hi, guys.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Organizers of the forthcoming first ever Hempapalooza.
For sure.
Indeed.
Going to be on the outskirts of downtown Brennan, up the Hamma Valley. Is that
Duckabush Valley?
The Duckabush Valley. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay, I know there's isn't there a rivalry between the Hamma and the Duckabush families? No.
We don't want to start any
All
controversy.
right, the Duckabush Valley going to be Hempapalooza 1.
Yes.
Summer solstice weekend beginning June 19th through the 22nd. Going to be a big party. And there'll be some educational things there too. But a lot of folks gathering there for that, and all in and around and because of the topic of hemp.
Right.
Hence the name.
Hempapalooza.
Hempapalooza. Nicole, this is at your parents' place up the valley there. And let's talk a little bit about how Hempapalooza came about and your involvement with the whole hemp movement.
Okay. Well, I guess I started with the medical marijuana aspect of things back in, I guess, 1999 when I was shot in 1996. And when I got out of the hospital, it was a hollow point and there was an arterial damage, and it's a pretty bad injury. And it was given methadone for the long-term pain. And about 4 months after getting the methadone, I lost the bottle and went into, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought I was having a nervous breakdown. So that's what I told all the doctors. I was like, I was shaking and sweating and vomiting and just really, really sick. And they were like, this is this medication. And I said, no, it's not. I'm having a nervous breakdown. And please, I'm entitled to it. Leave me alone. Let me have my nervous breakdown. And so what I found out, and they said, well, if that's the truth, then we give you this medication and then you'll still be having the nervous breakdown. And I agreed. Of course, I'll still be having the nervous breakdown. And then they gave me the meds and I was fine. And then I was like, I was not having nervous breakdown. In fact, it was a chemical addiction to methadone. Oh, really? So I didn't know that that was possible. I wasn't, I was just didn't know. I didn't know that that's what would happen if you took pills for a long term. And so I stopped taking pills. I got off of that. And kind of dealt with the pain for about 3 more years. And my dad would see me limping all the time. And he would say, you should smoke some marijuana. And I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And I was like, Dad, I don't do drugs.
I dare.
How dare you? Right? I said, Dad, how dare you? And he said, well, you should try it. So I finally did. And he was right. And it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense then. It doesn't make sense now. And as I've gotten more involved in the medical movement, and I just decided to have the last year we had the medical marijuana, just a farmer's market. And we talked a lot about, I noticed people coming together. They had similar interest in music and film. And I just saw last year this cultural kind of intersection. And so I decided to take what I observed last year and kind of pull it together this year into more of a cultural celebration of hemp, cannabis, medical marijuana, that sort of thing.
A little larger than just the local farmers market this year, though.
Indeed. But that also illustrates how much people have gravitated towards this. It's very interesting. We're not selling alcohol. We didn't even ask to do a beer garden, which everybody was like, don't you want a beer garden? There's money to be made. And that's not what it's about. We really want to showcase this plant. It's cool. And the culture is cool. And that's how it took off, because I think people just kind of gravitated towards it.
Now we have a lot of different kinds of offerings for people who are going to come out to Hempapalooza over the 4 days. Not just music, but certainly let's talk a little bit first, some of the headline acts that you've got.
Yeah. Right off about 4 months ago, I connected with producers of a new movie that's a medical marijuana type of movie. It's called Starleaf. The great thing about this movie, it was filmed on the Olympic Peninsula, and they were really excited to do what we're calling a red carpet premiere at Hempapalooza of this movie. So we're going to do a survivor style red carpet, where we're going to have the red carpet, but it'll be tiki torches and cobblestone lined and just outdoor, but very rustic classy rustic. And so we were excited about doing that movie. The producers and a lot of the actors are going to be there and do a Q&A session.
So it's kind of debuting at the event.
Yes, they're very excited. And then that story got down to California and over to New York somehow, where there's the first ever cannabis film festival. And the winner of that event was called Midnight Delight, and it was debuted in California, and they asked us to host the red carpet premiere here in Washington State at Hempapalooza. So I was like, wow. And I saw these movies. Both of them I had a chance to preview, because we also had another one called The Co-ed and the Stoner Zombie. It is on Netflix. I don't recommend it.
Not a good one?
No. But this kind of movement then attracted the attention of the Marijuana Show, which has been sort of on the radio around here locally. The Marijuana Show it's in their second year. It's a Shark Tank for marijuana businesses, cannabis businesses. Last year, they gave $5 million to their startup winners. So this is a real show with real ideas, and we're going to be hosting their live auditions at Hempapalooza.
Wow.
Those auditions, by the way, are free. Please, if anybody has some good ideas, go on the website, sign up. The auditions are free. It won't cost you anything to go in and pitch your idea. And some of the ideas are so cool.
What are some of the ideas? Better watering techniques or tools to help time things, or what are people creating?
Well, one of the most interesting products is something called Hemp Shield. It's a company in Eugene, Oregon that's producing what is believed by all of us to be the world's first hemp oil deck sealant. And they have a clear coat, and they have 6 different colors or so. several different colors. Check out hempshield.net.
Really?
And their president, Dave Sieber, longtime professional in many capacities. Really neat product, really neat company. They're almost a little above and beyond auditioning for a reality show, but there are a lot of people who would love an opportunity to network with all of these companies and advertise their product and audition for their own chance.
Really?
I
That's
believe-
amazing.
I believe one of last year's winners was a cartoonist or like a comic book artist. So I need to look more into it, and we should do some showcasing of the winners from last year. But it's
Yeah.
an exciting show, and they're in season 2, and
So
we're doing their auditions.
Any entrepreneurs out there want to be part of this, they can apply through the website.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, there's a
All
link on the website, and we are excited, genuinely excited about this.
And you can find the Marijuana Show on YouTube.
Okay.
And lots of information about many companies, many people.
There will be music.
Julius Melendez,
Julius
Randy
Melendez.
Hansen, Sundance headliner, the film festival headliner, Christopher Hawley. He's fantastic. CRSB from San Francisco. I am so excited about the music lineup. It is diverse. It is cool. And I just love the people we're working with. They are really neat. So.
And you have some featured speakers that are going to talk about some personal stories and movements that are going on within the hemp industry, right?
We have Paul von Hartman, who wrote a book on cannabis and climate change, really speaking about how hemp can help assist with global warming and the climate change. I guess the plant is capable of absorbing, what are those called? You know.
Well, it's a very efficient crop for large coverage, and you can use it for so many different materials that it's user friendly. It's a way for people to use their land in a way that's easy for them to control without having to rely on the kind of large scale financing that agriculture usually requires.
Heavy doses of fertilizer and some things
And machinery.
like that. Too.
Yeah.
And
And
machinery.
trucking.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the other one is Roger Christie. We're still trying, technically we're having, we're trying to figure out how we're going to do it because he is still under federal detention in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
So that's an interesting case. It's a great story. We're hoping to showcase it somehow, but we're still trying to overcome the technical challenges there.
4 big days up the Duckabush Valley. We have alerted Mason Transit. They're going to put on some extra runs from Mason County right to the gates of Duckabush
that's
Valley,
nice.
I think, almost right to the front road there off of 101. So that's going to be a help for a lot of folks. It is the 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd of June. What time are we going to start opening the gates on Friday? About noon?
The music and everything starts at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, though, we've had some requests to do some community open mic. And so I thought maybe sometime in the morning, 10 o'clock, let people come up and have their open mic time. And
Sure.
just because it is a small town, but there seems to be a lot of interest in having an open mic and being out, on the stage, kind of being a local superstar.
Let's give a chance too. So if there's some people listening that might want to be a vendor at your event, are there still openings for that?
Yes, and they should go to hempapalooza.com and they should contact us, or they should contact one of the very many people in the area who we are relying on for that kind of networking also.
And admission is reasonable as well for
Yes.
folks coming up to attend a day. It's $25.
$25.
And then if they want to camp and hang out for the whole weekend, it's only $60. We're calling it a camping adventure because you're going to come in and find your camp spot, and you're going to do a little bit of work to make your camp spot, but you are there for the weekend and you're off the roads, and it's affordable, and I think it'll be a good time.
All right. And there'll be plenty of food.
Right. And we are still looking for hemp vendors, and we're happy to waive vendor fees to get some hemp tech vendors out there. I heard there's a Hempcrete guy here in Shelton. So if anybody knows who he is, please give him our number and because we would love to talk to him.
Okay. All right. Hempapalooza 1. I think one of many to come. It is going to be a big event, and we're excited for you guys. We're excited to be part of this and helping to promote it for you.
Thank you.
And if anybody has any questions, hempapalooza.com is the website. We've got a link on our website. We've got a nice big banner there for you. All-star music, movie debuts, speakers, vendors, everything, the whole enchilada, as they say.
The whole enchilada. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com.
Okay.
And if you have any questions or want to think outside the box, give us a call.
All right. Very good.
For anybody who wants to participate, the best way is to send us a direct phone call or email.
All right.
For a direct follow-up.
And they can do that off of the website. Through the website. Thank you guys.
Thank you
for your trip down this morning. And we'll see you in 2 more weeks at the very day before the day.
Wow.
7:22, Nicole. Nathan, thank you so much. Hampapalooza, an event that is surely one you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with more Daybreak in just a moment.
Dale, you're done.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio and KMASnewsradio.com.
Yeah.
Head over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/1030KMAS. You'll see a link there. For whatever reason, there's no graphic, but like a play button, you know, a sideways or a triangle there. You can click that. It'll head to our YouTube live stream of the radio show here this morning. Dale's waving. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Oh, hi, everybody.
I'll wave too. And so you can follow along. And we've got Fred Wright coming in after the news in just a few minutes to talk about the big things that are doing up at the Ridge Motorsports Park. Man. They had well, we went there last summer and looked around.
Right.
And it was awesome.
Mark and myself got up there since then. Things have changed a lot since when we were up there. You and I, Carol, went up that one time. So there's a lot of changes up there. Cool. A lot of construction's gone on. And they're shaping and redoing the area where people can gather and watch. They've got some grandstands up on the track, up on the ridge there, kind of, so you can catch one of the corners. And
check that out.
There's a lot of changes that Fred will share with everybody here in just a few moments. It's one of those, I don't want to say mysterious, but the Ridge Motorsports Park it is very active and is bringing a lot of revenue to the area. But kind of we miss it because it's not in the center of everything. It's out in the, out of town. And you can hear it sometimes, but it's a lot like Kapowsin Air and the skydivers. They're into their area of where they're having their recreation. And they do come into the restaurants. They do come in and shop and they do those things. But then they're right back out to the raceway or, to the airport or whatever the case might be. But we'll talk to Fred about that and some other things that are coming down the pike with the Ridge. Also, a little later on this morning, natural disasters. We've talked about some series of earthquakes off of the Oregon coast here in the last 24 hours. Big 4-H science project dealing with natural disasters, being sponsored by the WSU Extension Office, and we'll be addressing that topic in the 8 o'clock hour.
Here's a news story coming out from Edmonds. Workers putting in new artificial fields at the former Woodway High School.
Yeah.
Facing a turf war because parents are coming saying, hey, those little black crumb rubber deals in the turf is linked to cancer.
Oh.
And KMAS reports that parents have been pleading with the Edmonds School Board to choose a different option. The school says right now they're moving forward with the prep for this artificial field, but there are unscientific studies, but reports that even soccer players and goalies in particular that spend a lot of time with their body and face on the ground of these artificial turfs with these little, because when you kick it up, you see the little black
Kind
pellets.
of crumbs. I'll call it rubber crumbs.
Yeah. You see it, and so that kind of gets in their face or in their ears and in their mouth. And apparently it's because it's basically tire, I believe.
I think it is.
And so they're linking it to some cancers. And so now there's a pushback on these turfs, which do help. And especially here in the Northwest, with rains. I remember, Tumwater Field, the footballers would be playing, and then us on the band would be marching around, and then the soccer would be doing stuff, and it just tore up the field, makes it muddy, and it's like a mud bowl. Nobody wants to be on there.
Right.
So these new fields do help in that. And now there's this new crumb rubber.
Crumb rubber.
Sounds like a band name.
Rubber crumbs.
Crumb rubber.
Crumb rubber. Thank God I'm a country boy. John Denver shot to #1 in all the land on this date, 1975.
Although John Denver refers to himself as a country boy, many in the country community
said no.
What?
Yeah.
That kid?
He's
from Denver.
He's Colorado country, which is different than country.
Than actual country.
Yeah. The Quartering Act. Are you familiar with that term? It required colonists to allow soldiers into their houses.
I do remember that. The
British.
British.
Yeah, 1774.
Yeah, they said, no, sorry, we're here. You got to let us stay here.
No,
under order of the king.
We don't like that.
Just one more. Be in the bonnet to get ready for this revolution.
It's coming. For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 104.1, 92.9 FM in Thurston County and online, KMASnewsradio.com. Good morning. I'm Dale Hubbard, 734 here on your Tuesday. Mark Teixeira got his 9th Grand Slam of his career off Felix Hernandez last night.
The 2-0 pitch, swinging a fly ball deep into the gap in right center field. Cruz going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. Mark Teixeira with a grand slam here in the top of the 5th inning. And the Yankees pull out to a 7-0 lead in the ball game for Teixeira, his 15th home run of the year.
I think Rick wanted to say, and the ball game is, for all intents and purposes, over. And it was 7-0 there, 7-2 the final. Felix meltdown, 5 walks in 5 innings. And, you got to understand that the first 3 innings, 21 pitches, 9 up, 9 down. And then the wheels completely came off in the 4th and 5th innings. So he didn't even get through the 5th. It was bad. And a lot of people turned to a 5th after it was over. All right. So there was that. Many Christmas. So Felix now 8-2 on the season. Didn't get that elusive 9th win. Seattle has only won 1 game on this particular homestand so far. 1 win and 4 losses. They have game 2 against the Yankees tonight. We'll begin our coverage at 6, first pitch a little after 7. And starting for Seattle, being called up from Tacoma this afternoon, Mike Montgomery making his major league debut, ladies and gentlemen, against CC Sabathia and the New York Yankees. Well, if you're going to jump into the pool, splash in there, right? Okay, so to make room for all that, struggling shortstop Chris Taylor is back in Tacoma. While helping their overworked bullpen, right-hander Mayaki Gualipi. I don't even know who that is. But Seattle made moves to make room for Mike Montgomery. That's how that all played out. And the Sounders have a new midfielder, Jeff.
Okay.
He's from Brazil, and his name is Thomas Yagaribe Bedinelli. Doesn't sound very Brazilian, does he?
No.
But he'll be eligible to play immediately. He's only 22. They signed him yesterday. He goes simply by Thomas, thankfully. And the Sounders have already received his international paperwork, making him eligible to play for the club right away. Sounders are the Western Conference leaders at this juncture in the MLS season. So congratulations. One of the professional sports teams is doing good. All right. So there you go. That's sports this time around. Jeff's got the weather forecast for us.
Sure. South Sound forecast for today. It's pretty much going to be a repeat of yesterday with the cloudy conditions all through the day and off and on showers. 53 currently and 58's the high, and that was the high yesterday. 64 tomorrow with just clouds and less clouds on Thursday, and then Friday shows up, and woo, we are in for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sun icons in a row. There are 7 sun icons in a row. 80, 84, 88, 80, 76, 74, 75 between Friday and next Thursday.
Man, summertime.
It could be summertime for sure. All right, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio. Kind of a rainy day, but I was on the Facebook yesterday, and our own Terry Allen posted a good comment. He says, oh, well, I mean, if it had to rain, at least it came on Monday. You know, so we had a wonderful forest festival.
We did have a good forest festival. Cooperative weather.
Oh, man,
it was
awesome. It was really nice. Speaking of the weather, the Bureau of Land Management has banned all fireworks and exploding targets on Bureau of Land Managed lands in Washington and Oregon. Columbian reports the ban went into effect yesterday as officials brace for what we're talking about, a long, difficult fire season because of these drought conditions. So that's kind of an update there for people starting to think about camping and fireworks and all that good stuff. 7:39 here at KMAS, KMASnewsradio.com.
Coming up, Are we going to take a break or are we going to jump right to
Yeah, we'll do it right now. That was the only news. That was.
Oh, I was okay. All right, good. Well, we have the manager of Ridge Motor Sports Park, Fred Wright. Hi, Fred.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the show.
Well, hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be here.
Yeah. Now, for folks who don't know, Fred's an old radio guy.
Oh, really?
14 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
He put some time in, but he was one of those guys that went, maybe I'll just get out of the radio business.
Well, I started out wanting to be like you guys behind the mic. Spent 4 years in college and realized that I had champagne taste and being behind the mic was a beer budget unless you were a real talent. And I don't think I was because no one was offering to pay me big money. So
Yeah.
I went into sales.
Well, that's what I was going to just say to you. My revelation was that I noticed the sales guys all drove better cars than the DJs.
Yeah.
And I went, maybe I'm in the wrong section of this.
Wrong
business.
side of the building.
Yeah. I think when I was in high school, I thought being a DJ would get me the girls.
Sure.
It didn't.
It didn't help.
No,
did it?
no, the money does, and
the
the
money
sales,
does.
the sales part of it does.
That is a true story right there.
But radio is in my blood, so
Yeah.
I just get excitement being in a radio booth and
That's good.
being around a microphone, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah. How long have you been with Ridge?
Well, that depends. If you go back, I've been involved with the project for really about 5 years. Ultimately, I helped the owners initially with the business plan, and then when the project opened, the first year I operated the Ridge Racing School, and we had 35 dates the first year, so we were part of teaching people how to drive the Ridge in 2012 when the park opened.
Yeah.
So, and then I took a couple-year hiatus because of what was going on out there. And then when the property was settled and the dispute was settled, Joe Menke, who's become a very good friend, and Rusty Gill, the two owners, asked me to step in and take the role of general manager. And I thought, gosh, what a fun job.
Yeah.
Being a part of building and developing a motorsports facility. Those kind of things don't happen very often.
No.
So, I was sort of retired at that point, and then I said, retirement's not so much fun. I was pretty bored. So this is this gets you going.
Now, you guys have undergone and are continuing to do a lot of construction, a lot of changes. Jeff, Carol, and myself came out there a little over a year ago.
It was a hot day, so it had to have been last summer.
And so, and I was telling him that I had went out to visit with you, with Mark here a few months ago. And I went, whoa, construction everywhere. And you can kind of sense that if you go to the, on the Eels Hill Road, and to the dump is on the left, and you guys, your facility is on the right. And you've kind of extended that out, and let's talk a little bit about some of the work that you've been doing up there.
Well, the first 3 years, there was very little development from the initial build. There was enough to keep the facility going during that period of time, but this is really the first year we've done any development. And so the key thing was to focus on things that were going to make the facility better and safer. And we needed to make some changes to the facility, particularly turn 13, because we were having some issues with the asphalt, and we had repaved it a couple of times already. And so we made some significant changes there. We brought back the initial track designer, Steve Crawford, to help us figure that out. And Lakeside, which is our partner in putting down the asphalt, came up with some solutions. And we changed the sort of the direction and the slant of that corner. We flattened it out so it slowed the drivers and riders down a bit, which was really important to be able to help make that corner better overall. And we put curbs in, and then we redesigned that whole area around the signature corner, 13, 14, 15, 16, which is the most visible area on the track up till this point. That has all been regroomed. There has been grass we put hydroseed down, and there's beautiful green grass around the track. And we just the last week put white lines, fog lines around the track, which is kind of like putting the dressing on your tires when you're cleaning your car. It just gives it that special pop. But we made a bunch of changes to barriers and safety issues that are really important to protect our users. And the other thing that we've been working diligently in the background is to get facilities on the property. We didn't have power. We have a power in one section of the property, but not throughout. And we don't have bathrooms. And so we've been working to get the well situated and ready for that. And we're almost there, and we're almost ready to start building the bathrooms, which will bring us out of primitive camping, and which is, makes a big difference to many of our customers, and something that will really start to set us apart. But the other things that we've done, and I think people will really start to see this in July when we open the facility, is we've built, and this was Rusty Gill, sort of, I think, signature idea. We were looking at the facility and figuring out how we were going to use it. And you probably know that in January, we made an announcement that there wasn't going to be a drag strip. And that was, that upset a group of people, and it made another group of people happy. And it was a tough decision. But the reason for it was the drag strip and the road course did not fit on the same piece of property. So as we're looking to lay out how we're going to do the different things we want to do and generate revenue and make the facility more accessible to different people, we said, let's build a go-kart track. And so we are building what we call the Mini Ridge. And it is a 1/5 scale version of the big track. And it's a mirror opposite. So if you come into the park, and you come around that U shape and come into the paddock, in that area there in the U shape is developing the go-kart track. And right now, this week, we're building a big retaining wall to hold all the dirt up so that we can then finalize the grading and put the asphalt down. But what this does for our community, and what this does for the Northwest, is it gives us a very unique feature. We don't know of many tracks in the country that have a duplicate version of their big track as a go-kart track. Number one. Number two, we have created this facility that will be accessible to everybody. I mean, you, I, 13, 14-year-old kids, and eventually younger people will be able to ride on this facility for, like $25. And I mean, that gives the facility an opportunity to reach more people and allow everybody in the community to have access to it. And we're really, really excited about that.
Yeah, as well you should. I mean, how exciting. And that is an outreach to the public.
Right.
Come on out and enjoy an afternoon at the track.
Yeah, and it will be open year round.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be able to operate. I mean, we have go-kart tracks in the Northwest, both in Seattle and up in Vancouver, that operate rain or shine, January through January. There's more traffic and more people that want to use it in the sunny, hot days, but it's still fun to do in the cold of winter. And you have leagues, and you have people that it's like a bowling league. There's go-kart leagues, and there's different classes. There's classes for the big guys and the little guys and the real fast guys and the old guys. And, so we're really excited about that. And, we think we'll be open sometime in the mid-July timeframe. It's
this summer?
This summer.
That's not very far from now.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, our team will be working hard to get that open. And, all the changes we've made this year with the safety improvements and the improvements to the grounds. Last weekend, we opened our spectator area. And one of the things that people have always said about coming to the Ridge is, boy, it's really beautiful. It's really great, but I can't see anything.
Yeah.
After you watch cars come down off the hill and come and head down the front straight, then you don't see anything.
Right.
And it's been something we've identified for the history of the facility that we knew we needed to change. And so we opened the spectator area, and today you could come out and walk across the track between sessions and walk up our really cool path that's all fenced in and go up to the top. And we have bleachers up there, and you can walk around, and you can walk and watch cars come down the front straight or bikes come down the front straight. And then you can watch them go through all of the corners up top. up, and it's really added a great dimension to the facility. And the weekend we opened it, we had people coming down going, that's exactly what we needed to be able to do here. I can come watch my husband play with his motorcycle, and I can see what he's talking about when he goes through turn 11, which we call the thumb. And she was just all excited. I mean, we heard that from a lot of people. That we now charge a $5 gate fee for anybody to come in.
Okay.
But we're calling it our Build the Bridge Fund, because we do need to build a bridge across the track.
Right.
But it's something that, we just had to prioritize the things that were important to the facility and do them in the right order. And the bridge is a ways off. And this will work for now.
Yeah.
But boy, it would be really nice to have a bridge so you can just come and walk across the pedestrian bridge and walk around up there. And the more we do, the more we try and make it like a park. The Ridge Motorsports Park has the ability to be a world-class motorsports facility. The heritage that exists in Shelton for motorsports, and the books that have been written about the history of racing that really started here in Shelton is being carried forward today. And our hope is that this is a facility that's here for the next 50 years and is used for all kinds of exciting motorsports, and people can really enjoy themselves in a safe, fun environment, and the community, whether they participate or whether they watch, can come out and be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do.
That was the key. So we got bathrooms being built.
Yep.
We got a go-kart track coming.
Yep.
Already the grandstands are up on the hill now.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can see a lot more of the racing that goes on. Very exciting. Fred, thank you for stopping by with the updates.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd come by anytime, and you guys should come out and see the facility.
We want
We'll even maybe get you a ride. We had the Economic Development Council out last Thursday, and we had a chance to take people for a ride in a Tesla around the track.
Wow.
And so I'll if you guys
I think we
you
can
guys
maybe
come out, we can
swing
probably work that out for you. All right.
Okay. Well,
one of my favorite things is coming in Thursday morning, Friday morning into town, right downtown Railroad, and seeing the cars that I know are going to be heading up there for the weekend to see what club is signed up for the weekend. The beautiful Porsches that you see,
oh man,
and the Audis that are along the side railroad. And you go, wow, where are those? Oh yeah, they're up to the ridge.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
cool
motorcycles.
stuff.
Oh my gosh, we've got some incredible motorcycle customers, and we had 200 motorcycles there on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, and they come from all over the Northwest. They come from British Columbia. They come from Wyoming. They come from Idaho. They come from Oregon. We had people drive up from California. We had a go-kart race last weekend where we had a father and son team that drove here from Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, we are a tourist attraction to this community, and we're bringing millions of dollars to this community, and we really hope to be able to do more of that. And so we hear all the good things about the restaurants in town, the places they get to go, and so it's really fun to share our community with the motorsports world.
Yeah.
Well, we're very appreciative of your efforts going on there at the Ridge Motorsports Parkway, and
just call it the Ridge.
The
Everybody
Ridge.
else does. Everybody just calls it the
stumbling
Ridge.
up on the rest of it. So, Fred, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, the general manager of the Ridge. And Fred Wright will be back to visit again sometime. We will take you up on the invitation. Jeff and I will be up to visit with you very shortly. I can guarantee you.
Super. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thank you, Fred. 7:52.
Yep.
On Daybreak. We're back in a moment.
All right. Good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio 755. Got the news coming up. The Old Farmer, it's 2 minutes away here, and then we'll have more on KMAS News Radio, ABC News at 8. Marilyn Foster just after that. You can follow along this morning on our live stream on YouTube and follow the links at the facebook.com/1030KMAS page. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk about a 4-H science project and the WSU Extension Office. We'll talk about some natural disaster information. We've had quite a few earthquakes around the area here. They're up to their 6th and 7th earthquakes after those initial shakers yesterday down in Oregon. And I believe, we were talking earlier this morning that perhaps it's kind of a readjusting with the Bagel earthquake that was in Japan on Friday. It was a 8.5, 8.6, something like that. Well, a cluster of earthquakes ranging in magnitude up to 5.9 have struck off the coast of the Pac Northwest. No tsunamis. 6th and 7th quakes struck in a series late last night, by far the weakest, 3.9 and 4.2. However, still earthquake. So we will continue to watch that. And a strong spring storm has brought heavy rain, thunder, lightning, and some hail to areas of eastern Washington and northern Idaho. In areas north of Spokane and around Coeur d'Alene, Vista Utilities reported that hundreds of customers temporarily lost power last night. And one viewer over there on the TV reported the lightning strike in a tree in her yard started a small fire.
Yeah.
So not only do we have these drought conditions that are happening with the Bureau of Land Management saying, hey, remember, no fireworks, no explosions out on our lands because it's so dry, but now we've getting the additional thunder and lightning.
We're going to bring it into a clear focus with Tim McKern here in the next day or so. I think the fire chief is scheduled to come in somewhere in the next week or so.
Okay.
And we're going to address fire danger and precautions. And they also have an emergency emergency management thing that they're talking about instigating. So we'll get all caught up on those topics. The weather is going to be a challenge this summer, to be sure. We'll return in a moment.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio. Morning stock numbers in about 10 minutes or so here. The local news with Marilyn Foster as well. Mariners trivia on the way, and tough kind of going here for the Mariners.
Tough sledding for the Mariners right now. And people are pontificating and wondering and looking and thinking. So, so this is what happens following a rough weekend that saw the Mariners lose 3 times in 4 games against Cleveland. These are some of the headlines of the bloggers that, if it gets worse than this for the Seattle Mariners, then look out. Okay. Mariners, let's see. Nelson Cruz continues to lead the American League All-Star balloting, but is he the only one that's playing good?
Yeah.
It just goes on. There are people taking their pot shots, and if each of these individuals do put it all together at the same time, I really do think that Seattle's capable of winning a World Series. They're that talented.
Yeah.
But they're sputtering. Everybody's on a different timeline. Everybody's doing good at different times, and nobody's collectively doing good all at the same time, except on rare occasions. And the key to success, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
And you just want everybody to come along and collectively improve, and then hit a nice stride. And it doesn't take much. You win 10 out of 12 games, 10 out of, 11 out of 14 games. Next thing you know, you're battling for your division lead.
Mm-hmm.
So just got to catch fire and get things going. Maybe it'll start tonight with our new guy, Mike Montgomery.
Boy, with that and Kyle Seager bobblehead night.
Yes.
It's a winning combination.
There it is. No doubt about that. 360-462-1041, the number to call. Play some Mariner trivia with us this morning and tell me who hit the grand slam off Felix in the 5th inning last night.
Okay.
Give us a call, answer the question, get some drive-in movie theater tickets, and qualify for the Friday drawing for Mariner tickets.
Yeah, this Friday's drawing is for a family 4-pack, 4 tickets to the Father's Day game. It is a Mike Zanino barbecue apron for the dads over 21, and then kids get youth baseball day. They get some caps as well. So that'll be pretty cool stuff.
Pretty good stuff to be sure.
For sure. I want to say good morning to Bob Burbridge, who I believe was or still is watching our new live stream of the Daybreak program. And thanks. I cut it myself.
You're looking good. Looking good for the radio, Jeff.
Cut it myself.
You're looking good, my friend.
I also I don't want to brag or anything, but I will.
You dropped off the screen right there. Oh, there. Yeah, put that up
show
there.
This thing.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen
who are watching, all 3 of you viewers. I think Carol's one of them. Are you watching?
Businessman's wild cow milking champions looking for a 3-peat in 2015.
I mean, that would almost be unprecedented.
It may be.
PJ's horses won in 06 and 07.
Anybody 3-peat?
No 3-peaters.
Here we go. Going to make history at the Mason County Rodeo this year.
Now, I'm a little on the edge because I would like to participate this year, but I would like us to win.
Well,
so
there is
the rub.
There's the rub, and there's my dilemma. Do I encourage my staff to participate, or do I just say get out of the way and let the real people do this? So our esteemed thanks to the actual cowboys that are doing the milking and chasing the cows and wrestling them down to the ground. I mean,
if it wasn't for our name, we wouldn't have anything to do with it.
My body hurts just watching that thing the next day.
It's going to be a lot of fun this year. The rodeo out at the Ridge, right?
Yes.
Ridge Motorsports Park.
He didn't mention that there's a rodeo going to be at the Ridge.
They say he was just talking.
What a collision of worlds.
We're talking about our interview with Fred Wright, which will be on the Daybreak page after the show. But he mentioned in mid-July kind of go-karts.
Yes.
Likelihood of go-karts around, and that'll be great for folks coming into town.
Yeah, and you don't have to own a go-kart to participate. They'll have carts for rent there. And so, like he said, for
I've seen go-karts
you go
fast.
Oh, man, it's fun. You'll see these racetracks from time to time, go-kart tracks, and sometimes they gussy them up, make them look like sports cars with a fuselage over them. But they're really go-karts. This is what they really are. And you get to race in a real track. we blew off a small fortune, and I'd say 2 or 3 hours one day during a downtime on a trip to Hollywood, to Los Angeles, with the kids. And we were kind of caught betwixt and between events. Hey, they got this little, mini racetrack thing over there, and Grand Prix racing or something. We went over there, and they had a ball.
Oh, yeah.
And we couldn't get enough of it, me included.
Yeah,
And
no, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's going to be huge. And once it's more open, I suppose, as it is now, maybe we can finally add something to the tourist attraction sign coming into town.
Perhaps,
because there's nothing.
Yeah,
Is this sign even still up? I think it was on the ground the last time I drove by.
Well, it may still be. Yeah.
It was like Annie's Quilt Shop was the only tourist activity. So, I mean, maybe the city should look into
those extreme sports, quilting, things like that. Come to the Olympic Peninsula for some extreme sports, quilting, go-kart racing, and everything in between. All right, coming up here in just a few minutes, Environmentally Sound, and Erica Bates will be in to talk to us about Oakland Bay Day.
Oh, okay.
3rd annual.
Sure.
Oakland Bay Day. And we've participated at varying levels over the last couple of years, and it's a lot of fun. And if you have a care in the world about the environment and you live here, this is a fun event to attend, and educational as well.
Now, this is out at the Oakland Bay Park where they have that house out there. Is that this area?
Is that where they're going to have it this year? They've moved it around, so I don't know.
Oh, well, we'll find out.
We were in an old barn last time around, and then we were at that park when it was dedicated. Was the first year that I remember. It's actually going to be at your favorite walking spot, the Bayshore Preserve. Really? Celebrate Oakland Bay Day at Bayshore Preserve, June 6th, so this Saturday, 11 to 3. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to be out there with the dogs now. Oh, that's a great question to ask. There's surveyors out there, and there are now. Riley's chewing on their ankle. And, sir? Yeah, no dogs allowed anyway. But this is I don't know. Bayshore Preserve site tours will be available. Shellfish samples. While you can, it's a great walking park. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Trivia scavenger hunt for the kids, live music as well. We'll have some more information just after the news. All right. Very good. So, yeah, they do move the location around. So that's good to know. It'll be at Bayshore. Right across the street from Bayshore, Texaco. There you go, Eric. There's your plug for the month. It's the last free one you get. Be in that lowest unit charge period here pretty soon. And he is a declared candidate. That's true. All right. Good morning to you. 828. Just waiting on some morning stock numbers and the news from Marilyn Foster on the way. Coming up at 9, we'll have Tom Hartman show until noon. Dave Ramsey after that. Chad Benson in until 6. And then the Mariners start their pregame tomorrow. Will be Wednesday, and it's an 11:30 pregame start. Yikes. With a 12:40 first pitch. Wow. Now on the line from Edward Jones on Olympic Highway South. Good morning.
I love how you guys key that up. Like, who's going to be on call?
Well, we just never know.
I know you never know. We like to keep you guessing. That's a game.
How's it going this morning?
It's going good. It was sad on that baseball game last night.
Holy moly. It was beyond sad.
You know, and it was so sad that he just couldn't get over it. You know what I mean? I think he just stuck in his shoe in his brain, you know, which was just too sad.
Started out so good, and then he got that mud in his shoes, and he was like his whole concentration, everything just went off the charts.
I know, it was a sad game.
Yeah. It was a sad game, Karen. You're right.
I know it was.
But we got Mike Montgomery to save the day for us tonight.
I hope so. I want to get some more hits, and we'll be okay.
Okay, very good. Speaking of hits, they're hitting them out of the ballpark on Wall Street this morning.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, if you want to say that, yeah.
Whatever I want to say.
Whatever it is, yes. Actually, U.S. stocks are trending lower with weak economic data as investors remain uncertain about the outcome of Greece negotiations with creditors. In economic news, news orders for U.S. factory goods unexpectedly fell in April as demand for transportation equipment and a range of other goods weakened. On the earnings front, Medtronic reported quarterly results that exceeded expectations on better than expected cost management. U.S. bond prices are trading lower. So far this morning in the S&P 500, the best performing sector is energy, while the worst performing sector is utilities. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 6 points at 18,034. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is down 3 points at 2,108, and the NASDAQ Composite Index is down 4 points at 5,078. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate, with 192 million shares being traded, and advancers are outnumbering decliners by a roughly 3-2 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up $1.75 to $1,190.85. The spot price of silver is down 2 cents to $16.75, and crude oil prices are up 89 cents to $61.09. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3.01%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.26%. In stocks of local interest, Amazon is down $2.47, Costco is down 20 cents, Boeing is up $2.26, Starbucks is down 18 cents, and Microsoft is down 28 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton. And if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590. And daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.
Well, the whole she doesn't want to be on
Can you
camera at all.
Can you see through it though?
There, it's perforated.
For News Radio
But not
1030
100%.
KMAS, Shelton FM 104.1, 92.9 FM, Thurston County online, KMASnewsradio.com.
Mr. Max, fourth grade class. We were mistaken yesterday.
Okay, fourth
grade. They're
graders.
watching again this morning.
But they act like sixth graders.
Very professional.
Actually, they act older than sixth graders. You are good kids out there. Ladies and gentlemen, streaming live at the KMAS studios in downtown Shelton. Video and audio.
Sure, you can find us for the next 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, somehow, some way. We're at KMAS TV or something.
Well, go to your
YouTube.
Facebook page, go to our Facebook page, and then there's a link there, and you'll see Daybreak, and you can just kind of Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, and there's a little play thing. You click on that, and it should take you right to it.
So how about those Mariners?
Yeah, how about it?
So the headlines, Felix melts down after rain in Mariners 7-2 loss to the Yankees.
Clever.
All right, so well documented by now, Mark Teixeira with the grand slam home run off of Felix. Boy, very uncharacteristic of Felix to do what he did, give up 5 walks and a grand slam, all in 1 1/3 innings. He did all that.
Wow.
It was time for him to exit stage right, and so that's what he did. The Mariners lose 7-2. Game 1 of their 3-game set with the Yankees, and we'll have game 2 for you tonight. We begin our coverage at 6. First pitch a little after 7 o'clock. Mike Montgomery, Rook Meat, coming up to the bigs, calling the mom and dad and all of his high school buddies. And tonight's the night. He's starting major league debut, Safeco Field, bright lights, and the New York Yankees.
What's his name? Mike Montgomery?
Mike Montgomery, yes. And so we'll wish him the very best as he goes up against CC Sabathia. Should be a good game. Again, our coverage begins at 6.
Oh, he'll get a lot of his family. He was born in Mission Hills in L.A.
Yeah.
So
he'll
if
have,
he calls them now, they can all get here by
sure.
game
Some of
time.
the family will be here for sure.
Yeah.
And usually he probably found out last night sometime that he was going to be doing this, and so that they'd be assured of not being able to sleep.
Born July 1, 1989.
Really?
25 years young.
Yeah. Well, here he goes.
Good for him.
Yep. And we wish him the very best against the Yanks. That's sports for you this morning. Jeff's got the weather forecast.
I sure do.
It's a little drizzly kind of a day today, but as nice as you can imagine by this weekend.
Oh, yeah. So cloudy now, 60 will be your high. It's pretty much the same as yesterday. 65 tomorrow with more clouds. The clouds start to burn off for Thursday. 70. It's going to be 80 on Friday, 85 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday. Wait, I don't want that. 90 on Sunday, and now 53. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. It's Daybreak here at KMAS News Radio, and we'll have Erica Bates on in just a second. I want to let you know that tomorrow during Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, we're going to talk with Jacqueline McAlevey about the Splash, the new Splash group, to work on fundraising for the pool. Also, 35th District Representative Dan Griffey, Toby, Kevin, and Barry Hansen in to talk about poverty and the Drexel House in Olympia.
Oh, okay.
And also, I think we'll get back on the air and we'll port a call. We'll dive deep and figure out what's going on.
I believe John and Dick are both back, and we'll have those guys in for port of call. They've taken a 2-week hiatus, so we look forward to all that. We do have, though, at this time, most Tuesdays, environmentally sound, and in studio with us this morning, we want to welcome Erica Bates, and Erica is helping in the Oakland Bay Day celebration Good morning, Erica. Thank you for coming this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, very good. And you are with what organization?
I work for WSU Extension here in Mason
All
County.
right.
I'm with our Water Resources Program.
Okay. Do you know Jonathan, who just left?
I do. I didn't know he was going to be on here this morning, but we
Ship's
passed
passing
him.
in the night
Yep.
here. Yeah. That's awesome. KMAS has been involved with the Oakland Bay Day for the last couple of years, and it always moves around. Tell us about the location this year.
Yeah, this year we're going to be out at Bayshore Preserve, which is a really great location for us. We move around every year, but this year Bayshore Preserve is a new spot because Capital Land Trust purchased the former Bayshore Golf Course, which people are very familiar with around here, in 2014. And so they're restoring the site, and we're lucky enough to have the chance to have our event out there and to get the public out to see the restoration that's going on at the site and to be right on the water on a beautiful sunny Saturday.
Yeah.
That's exciting. What day is our Oakland Bay Day?
It is this Saturday. It's June 6th. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Man, yeah. Dress for some heat.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It'll be about 80, 85 out there, but it's beautiful. You get a nice cool breeze out on the water along Bayshore.
Sure.
From 11 to 3. It's a free event, and there's tours around as well. What are some other events going on?
Yeah, so we're going to have staff from Capital Land Trust. They're going to do a site tour at 2 o'clock. So they'll be walking folks around, showing them off the restoration, and they're actually going to do a groundbreaking ceremony on some of the restoration that they're doing as well. We're going to have a trivia scavenger hunt for kids, Salish Seafoods, which is the Squaxin Island Tribe seafood company, as well as Taylor Shellfish and Zindwelly will be out there cooking up some delicious shellfish for us. And we've got a bunch of live music lined up as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
what
it
a
should be really
fun day. Yeah, absolutely. All to kind of bring into focus, of course, the environment.
Yeah, we're out there to celebrate Oakland Bay, celebrate the watershed, all our natural resources. We're going to have local nonprofits, community groups, resource agencies out there sharing information. We're going to have a lot of fun activities for kids. So it's a really fun, family-friendly event to get some great information about how we interact with our natural resources.
Oh, nice. There's no cost for anybody to come out.
Nope, it's totally free.
It's important to note that no dogs are allowed at the site.
That's true, yeah.
And so if you have, you get in the car, you're like, oh, let's go to Oakland Bay, and you bring the dogs with you, and then you go, well, you got to stay in the car. It is going to be 80,
Yeah.
and you don't want those dogs in the car. So
No.
leave them at home before you even come out.
Yeah, definitely leave the dogs at home and make sure you're wearing appropriate footwear. It is a restoration site, so there's going to be, rocks and stuff all over the place. So just think about that when you're coming out. But it shouldn't be too muddy since it'll be nice and dry.
Yeah,
that
it'll
day.
be nice and dry. Why did this start?
It actually started as an Earth Day celebration about 5 or 6 years ago. And so, to address some of the issues when Oakland Bay was having water quality issues, as an educational event to really help citizens figure out what they can do to improve water quality in the area and habitat for our animals, things like that. And so we've moved a little bit from Earth Day. We're just trying to get good weather, which we succeeded at, and get towards the end of the school year. But it really is just about getting people information and helping people learn what they can do to help the environment, but also just to really celebrate what we have here and what we're so lucky to have in Mason County.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, indeed. So the day is this coming Saturday. We're right up on it. So out at Bayshore, which is just a couple, 3 miles out of town.
Yeah.
Right off of Highway 3. And for the old golfers out there, it'd be a chance for you to get back and take a look, see what nature has done to the golf course over the last year.
And it really has retaken over. Is that right?
Yeah, they've already started a lot of the restoration. They've removed a lot of, the cement and concrete and done those sorts of things. And
Buildings are all gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah, there's just a couple little structures left
Yeah.
from the golf course. So it'd definitely be interesting for folks that have been out there before as the golf course to see the changes that are happening.
Yeah, indeed. And there's surveyors and surveying stakes and hieroglyphics. I have no idea what they mean and that sort of thing. So for some of the plans that are being made for out there. So it's going to be a very interesting day to be sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about people driving by, seeing things, wanting to know what's going on out there. And Capital Land Trust is really, overseeing all of that. And so this is your chance to get out there, walk around with them, and hear from them exactly what they're going to be doing out there at the site.
Yeah. So again, it starts at 11, but the tour is at 2, you said?
The tour is at 2, but there'll be staff there from the Land Trust the whole time, so they can answer any questions. And if there's a lot of interest, they might take people around earlier too.
Okay.
Very good. Well, Erica, thank you for stopping by this morning.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to a big, busy day on Saturday.
Yep, we're excited.
All right. Very good. Erica Bates from WSU Extension, and Oakland Bay Day at Bayshore this Saturday beginning at 11. Absolutely free. Gather the family, all the family, leave the pets at home. Come on out and enjoy the environment. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. 8:46, and we'll be back to wrap up Daybreak here in just a few moments.
All right. All right.
Sure.
Good morning.
Daybreak
here at KMAS News Radio. I got another text from Mr. Mack about the kids. Well, guess what they're doing right now? They're watching, obviously, and having a good time, but they're practicing something, and something that a lot of folks, they feel that it's gone the wayside, and there's not really a use for it anymore. And I find, just start guessing when you kind of have a maybe guess. I find myself going in and out of this writing style often when I'm taking notes.
Cursive?
The kids are working on their cursive right now.
4th graders.
Yeah.
Is there actually, do they teach cursive still in school, or is that what the teacher?
I'm sure it's an app he downloaded that has it. No, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think you do the A and
it was
the Z, however you do a Z.
Miss Hazen was my 4th grade teacher. So, Mr. Mack, by the way, these kids will remember you the rest of their lives.
Yeah, for sure. 4th grade. Miss Fisher, I believe, was mine.
And cursive was fun because, it was a challenge to learn it.
Yeah.
And then you spend a lot of time mastering your cursive.
I often enjoy writing in cursive still. And I remember hours, maybe not hours, felt like hours, of just doing the circle. Like a curly cue to kind of get the motion.
Yeah. That's what they wanted you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of that is falling by the wayside via text and internet and that sort of thing. And
I wouldn't be surprised that we may be nearing a tipping point of this tech.
I don't think I've written cursive for years.
Yeah. Lowercase, I can still bust it out, but some of the uppercase letters for starts of sentences,
I like printing.
Just J.
I like writing.
That's cool though that he's teaching cursive.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It's something practical because then you can make nice invitations to events.
They've got cursive font. They can just pull up the cursive.
I know,
right? There it is for sure. Jackie McAlevey.
Yes.
In tomorrow for Splash.
That's right.
The musical.
Tom Hanks.
Yes.
John Candy, Daryl Hannah.
Oh,
We're trying to do a remake.
and save the pool all at the same time. There's a new storyline for the Splash 2. So we're teasing a little bit, but a very important topic. And we'll have Jackie in tomorrow to talk about that. And hope you'll tune in for that for our Wednesday edition of Daybreak. As Jeff mentioned, we're anticipating our fellows from the port of Shelton to return, and we'll do port of call. There's the Mariner theme music one more time for you this morning at 462-1041. Tell me who hit the grand slam off Felix in the 5th inning last night, and win yourself a family 4-pack to the drive-in theater and qualify for a family 4-pack to a Mariners game on Father's Day. 462-1041. What New York Yankee hit a grand slam home run off of Felix Hernandez in the 5th inning last night? Oh, just that easy.
All right, let's see who we have on the phone this morning. Hi, KMAS. You're on the air with us. Who is this?
This is Galen.
Hey, Galen. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Do you have an idea of the person who hit the home run, the grand slam against King yesterday?
Yep. Unfortunately, it was Mark Teixeira.
Yeah, you got that right. So are you a big Mariner fan, Galen?
Huge. Unfortunately, once again.
Yeah, I know. It is really tough this year because we had high expectations, didn't we?
Yep. I'm not giving up yet, but shoot, they're making it hard.
Yeah, I'm with you. Exactly the same way I feel. I'm not giving up yet, but they're making it hard. So hang on the line for just a half a moment, Galen. We'll get a little bit more information from you, but you've won yourself a pass for 4 to the drive-in, Skyline Drive-In, and you're qualified for our Friday drawing for Mariner tickets. So
awesome.
Stay right in line. Thank you. Congratulations. And we are getting up close to 9 o'clock here in just a little while. A couple of headlines from around the area that we were checking and tracking here throughout the morning. And by the way, I don't know if that's a big headline or not. Tiger Woods is in the area, and he's brushing up. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I heard Phil's in town as well.
So let's talk to our friends in the DuPont Chambers Bay area this morning.
Sure.
Or from the people around there to us who don't live in that area, but maybe want to try to. Is there a way that you can get a sneak peek of these people playing? One of my buddies on Facebook said along the train tracks, but I don't think you're allowed to go on the train tracks.
Well, nobody's supposed to be on train tracks ever.
You're not.
No.
Well, that whole
but they can. But go ahead.
The train tracks the whole time.
The tracks do run by Chambers Bay Golf Course. Yeah, that would be a great vantage point unless somebody shoos you off.
Could always buy an Amtrak ticket.
Well,
go from Seattle to Tacoma.
Timing would be everything.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I was reminiscing about the 1999 U.S. Open. That was the year that Payne Stewart just nosed out lefty, as a matter of fact, as it turns out. And it was just a few months later they perished in that plane crash. And it was poignant because it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
And Phil Mickelson lost by 1 stroke, kind of blew it a little bit to Payne Stewart. And Payne Stewart said, "You're going to be a dad on that Sunday." So it was very poignant, and he could have said, "Ha, gotcha."
Yeah.
Instead, he says, "You're going to be a dad. Don't worry about this." And
that's a great story, Dale.
Phil was anticipating the birth of his first child, which he's got 3 now, I think. And so a very poignant story. And then a couple of months later, gone.
Yeah.
Forever.
Isn't it amazing how quickly? Yesterday we didn't even mention it, but Joe Biden's son died of brain cancer over the weekend.
Yeah.
And poor Joe Biden, the vice president, he has been through so many struggles. He lost his wife and one of his first kids in an alcohol-related accident in 1980, I believe.
Which this boy and his brother were also in the accident. They survived.
And so Beau Biden was in the Army for a while, and then he was elected to office, and he had a stroke last year or 2 years ago, fully recovered, came back, and then he passed. And boy, that's a tough road to hoe for the Biden family.
Family for sure. And so our thoughts are with them as we do prepare for the U.S. Open, which is just coming up around the corner. We talk about all these events that are coming up in June.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's the same weekend, Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
So it's the 19th, 20th, 21st will be the championship round. 18th is when they'll start it on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And that whole week prior to that is the amateurs and and the celebrities and all that. And Chambers Bay will be the central point of the golfing world globally. And sounds as though the roster of attendees is 4-star.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting everybody there.
I think everybody, this is quite the, well, this is the first time a major event, not like a golf major, but just a major golfing event has happened at Chambers Bay since it's really been opened. And so nobody's really seen it. Everybody's heard.
They had an amateur NCAA deal there when they first opened, but gee, they didn't even have the greens firmed up.
Yeah.
So
and that was back when Tacoma or Pierce County people could play there for Muni prices.
Yeah, it's changed.
It is definitely. You ain't kidding, it's changed.
But
all right,
it'll be good times.
8:56 here at Daybreak with Jeff and Dale, and good morning to you here on KMAS News Radio. And a big thanks to all the folks who are trying out our web stream this morning. We'll have the video running tomorrow as well, so you can check in and follow along with the antics of Dale and myself as we interview guests aplenty and have a whole lot of fun on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Can't do it without you. And there's a lot of options out there. You know, you wake up at 6 and you're already getting ready to start your day. And, well, my goodness, thank you so much for stopping by the old Radio Ranch here. I
think I just went dark.
Was that you?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Himpapalooza commercial.
Let me turn that off then. 'Cause
I didn't know I was live.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we could play it. No, better not.
Still don't know it. So we can post it later.
Yeah. I'm playing with buttons over here.
Some behind the scenes that will come to the forefront soon. We're starting our candidate interviews today, so we'll start to get ready to welcome candidates on to Daybreak. And before too long, it'll be the primary season, and the elections in August.
We'll have a on-air forum for all the candidates here soon. Lots of exciting times on the horizon.